Annan Brown. I find it very romantic that you met here, but not surprising, because this is a matriarchal centre, an ancient centre, built on the confluence of two rivers, the Macha, the Morrigan. People are quite wrong about the Morrigan. She has many phases. She's the innocent maiden, the Blessed Virgin, who presides over wells like Brigid, this one, which is a very ancient Neolithic well. But as Morrigan, it means the Great Queen. She isn't in her latest incarnation. This is when she makes love to the chief god, the Dagda Mor. Mor means great. And this is the thing the Irish always leave out. They don't quite like this behaviour. They make love with their naked, with their legs astride the river in full spate. And this is the Dagda and the Morrigan, Great Queen Mor, and Dagda Mor. So you're in the right place. However, as they then proceed, she has offspring, and that is the tributary, the River Derry. The River Derry of the Druid Oak, and they meet here, just a mile down the way. So we are in the fork of the river Derry and Slaney, the River of Slaney healing Sláinte. And that is her third aspect, which some call the crone. In Ireland they call it the Collach, or the crow's foot. Its name is the crow's foot. Of course, she is goddess of ravens and crows. So this is an absolutely ancient goddess site. And our temple also is in view of the sacred mountain of Wales, Mount Leinster. They can see it from Preseli, where they got the blue stones. And I was puzzled why they called it a place where you can see Mount Leinster as a place of death, the place of the White Lady and the goddess, and why we were regarded in this light. The answer is that before, when the moon is seen from Wales to be gliding over Black Rock, Mount Leinster, and a third one, I forget its name, and appears to fall into the sea, there will be a total eclipse of the sun next day. So you can see how we are connected even with Stonehenge in this way, because the blue stones would be regarded as of the goddess. And death, well, seeing they were scared of eclipses, they didn't like them. But we have an Lyceum there, and I was very proud that they all gathered together before the solar eclipse, remember 1999 I think it was, and they saw this phenomenon. It's a natural phenomenon, but it makes Mount Leinster very, very romantic. Yeah. It's far pre-flood. I mean, the romantic mountains that they all admire in the West are just popped up volcanic, but these granite mountains hold the power. And all this castle is made of granite, so it holds the power, and the power of the well. Well, we are not nationalists. We have all people. You notice I adore her. Don't you think she's lovely?
Wonderful.
This lady. I assume she's Tara. She has a nice little moon on her forehead. We say, Om Tara, Om Tare Tutare Ture Vaha. I love her. I hold her hands and I do a little meditation. She's sweet. And here, these are very ancient stone cuttings. Do you see? These big stone heads. They're very, very old.
Local?
From Ireland anyway, I'm not quite sure. This is carved by my nephew, a girl in wings again, and then the Grail, done by a Dutch artist, Fonker. Has a funny story. The lady is a famous artist. It cost thousands of pounds, but she couldn't sell it and gave it to me. I rather understand why. These legs went on, and she chose to put them over the door to my drawing room. So every single time to my nice sort of 17th century drawing, I had to go through this enormous Dutch lady's legs, do you see? And that's the womb, and that's her vagina. I thought it a bit much.
Perfectly.
Finally, I got fed up, and so I got a man, Johnny Roberts, who does work for us, to stick it up here and fold the legs back. And my nephew was so angry when he found they were rotting. I remember he bumped his head against the wall of fury because he's a true artist. And I dare I? However, I didn't give a fig and I just cut it off. But I was a bit bothered still as to its history. Imagine how huge it was. So we had a housekeeper then. I got a housekeeper down, a good Catholic. And I said, Mrs. Shield, what's that? She said, oh, that's the Holy Grail.
Ah.
The womb.
A true.
So here we are, the Holy Grail. I offer libation to the goddess Brigid.
Yes.
And I offer you, you might like to be anointed with the Grail.
Please, we would love that.
May you be blessed and happy. and your special concern come out that you're waiting for, right?
Thank you.
Uh-huh. And then I'll push off. By the way, can you drive me back, or will I get the man to collect me as usual?
We
You
can
can drive me back,
Of
I'll tell you.
course.
He's very generous. He always does the thing for the same price. So I won't be saving money, but I'll be saved. We can relax a bit more and have coffee
Absolutely.
there.
Yes.
Because he usually wants to get back to his dinner.
We'll be your divine chauffeur.
Good. Now the temple is based. I wanted for everybody who comes here. We have people every day because we're a listed house, and so this is the whole thing is worked out in 4 elements. This is the element of water,
Water.
which the Druids always had in the north.
Yes.
You can see. And it's Sagittarius, and I love this. This was a rum bottle.
A rum bottle.
A rum bottle, yes. I wasn't wicked on me. I do these awful. I'm drive my nephew mad. He's a true artist, and I paint things silver and things like that. But there she is, and instead of the little cork, I put in earrings, a tiara. It is Sagittarius as a water sign. All these are the great sea of heaven.
Yes.
So that is by a girl called Joanne Farrell, who's our famous sort of saintly character. She saw the Virgin Mary. Joanne Farrell, young girl, as a young, she's still very young, a teenager, and she gave me that. I like it very much. I believe in it. It was there when an apparition came.
Beautiful.
There's my brother Derry and me. We were in the
Yes.
we were in the very sort of the Guardian Sunday. That's a very sort of not exactly left wing, very liberal paper, but
Liberal
then
paper.
it also appeared, alas, when my brother died. People thought I was dead as well because they used that photo, you see.
Oh,
I
really?
think it was that one. It's in the Daily Telegraph. It's lovely, this photograph of me.
We saw him, you know,
We've both gone to the Great Elsewhere, but actually it was my brother.
No, it's the Great Else here.
Okay, Elsewhere.
The Great Else here. Just take the W out and you've got Great Else here.
I never thought of that. Well, we're the Great Elsewhere. I like that word. I really perhaps should do some work now. Oh yes, I
Yes.
must explain.
Yes.
You see the dungeon. I did laugh how my sister-in-law, the description that the visitors read. The castle is amply furnished with, what was it, dungeons.
Dungeons.
I tell all my friends that the dungeons are now
the
dedicated
dungeon-
to the priestess and the goddess.
Well, the main dungeon is now a cave of the Mother Goddess.
It's
Yeah.
okay,
It's bursting with the. I'm in
Exactly.
love with that. I think I've got to show it to
Bursting-
you. But I think I must show you this. After I can work later.
So there's our water in the north.
And here we are. This is Earthside. Now,
Yes.
this was very funny. This was a table my nephew got, and I don't think it was thought very well of.
A table.
Just as it was used as a table. And suddenly I lifted it up and I saw they didn't quite like the blue boobs. It's Coatlicue.
The great blue boobs.
It's Coatlicue. And there's
Snooty.
Quetzalcoatl and Quetzalcoatl. Our twins. She gave birth to twins. It must be her. So now she's in an honoured place. The Cave of the Mother.
As an Earth Mother.
It's perfect there.
a true
I think I'll
Earth
let you
Mother.
get on with it now.
So, as Lady Olivia said, this is the healing room, which we've been in before, and it carries us on through into the Temple to Air with the winged Isis. Beautiful space and abundance spring. A lovely little window set in the old original stone. This is a window through to the well from the high altar. You can just barely see the well cover in the back. And some of the altar spaces in the next room. And here we are at the high altar again. Our Lady Isis.
12 shrines.
And yet another window
Let me read this here.
into all the way through to the well through this center room. Read me something, Brian.
Originally, the basement housed the kitchen, dungeons, which can still be seen. Now it has become a temple honouring the feminine aspects of deity, set up in the early 1970s by Olivia Durden Robertson and her brother Lawrence. For those interested in those literature, please ask the guide. The temple is basically divided into 12 shrines, representing goddess figures from all the major traditions, and each shrine also represents a sign of the zodiac. The old well predates the present building they may well have been used at the time of the monks and beyond. This one here, this is a perfect, this is one of a very romantic shot with these colours.
This is through the old glass out into the front entrance through one of the windows down here in the Isis Temple. This is a lovely window with all the... This is the room of air with all the light and colours coming through the glass. The dining room.
That's where
we had tea in here.
And that's where I first saw you, it was there.
Right in
you should go and stand there while I take a shot. And just say that's where you were standing when you first saw me. And then if you turn around, I saw you from here.
I was sitting in this chair right here.
Yeah, you were standing right there. And then I was standing here.
Actually, you came in and leaned against this table.
I did.
We could put our names on this book. Back into the dining room. Lovely old silver portraits on the walls. What era is this ceiling, Brian?
I imagine this is 1800s, probably.
1625, that marker on the mantle.
My God, this is what's amazing. These are all pictures. These are all paintings.
And here's this crumbling tapestries that inspired me to call this the Castle of Entropy. Nice portrait. Beautiful lady in a lovely dress.
My God, look at this. This is the stained glass window in the dining room of Huntingdon Castle, showing the lineage of the Durden family from 1192 running down to 1849. From the progenitor, that means given birth from Lawrence Esmond Miles. When this castle is edified, in other words, this castle is given or re-edified in the year 1625.
Yeah.
Then you've got Thomas Esmond Bart, 1646-1661, Lawrence Esmond Bart, 1661 to 1688, and he was Bart II, and so on. This is the entire history of the family, with their coat of arms. At the top there you see 3 stars, The 3 stars probably represent the Trinity. The hand is the hand of truth, that is the open palm, and the inverted lilies probably means they have links to the French, which means Scottish. And Robertson, of course, is a Celtic clan, probably originating in Scotland.
Yeah, the clan shields, there's a number of clan shields on here.
Yeah. Of course, Lawrence was the oldest druid in Ireland.
Well, that's enough photos of that.
And that's amazing. This is a lovely room, actually.
I wouldn't mind having one of these at our house. A little solarium, all nice and warm in the winter. So this is how you came in the house, Brian, when you
Yes,
first came with Jackie?
absolutely.
Nice hallway. I'm not sure the video is going to do it justice. It's backlit.
See that?
Here's some armor and swords.
This chest. That's what we call a chest, isn't it?
Incredible. And this place has got huge numbers of
Antiques.
antlers
That
and
is this lovely piece, that unicorn, which of course,
this kind of Greek.
which we know right upstairs.
This would be like a bedroom, Kingston style.
Yeah.
Saint standing by with the. There must have been a little chapel here.
Yeah, we can go through there into the back garden. Maybe.
Lovely film. There it is again, Huntington Castle.
This is more beautiful now,
And up to the back, orchard. is an old monastery, possibly a folly. I'll have to ask Olivia about that. It was really a monastery, I think it was. There's the castle again. Running down to the garden. Beautiful tree. And on into the dark you walk.
These yews are probably 600 to 700 years old, and of course a very noted tree because the British or the English built their longbows from yews, famous of course at the Battle of Crecy where they defeated the French. I'm just about to walk over a bog. Also of note, of course, is the V sign, which the English invented as a sign to the French.
Crossing. We'll just pan the castle here. It's lovely how they make these avenues for people to have a view down.
Look at that, it is a wheelhouse. The water would turn a wheel.
Uh-huh.
In fact, I would imagine this is actually driving. This is probably driving the water that filled the moats. All this would have been filled up with water. Yeah, this would have been, the water would have been all the way around here.
All empty now. So this is a walkway. We don't know when it was built. We can ask Olivia. It's got what would have been a water course on one side and a water course on the other side, and so it goes all the way around the edge of the property, it appears. Maybe it was, I wonder if it was actually used for clothing or if it was just for beauty and decoration. Yeah. That's like it. Here's the yews.
Let's walk the end of the yews.
The view of the yews from the outside. This bridge is just an absolute favorite place in life.
Look at the weeds.
Yeah. Green strands of a lady's hair.
Yeah. Now, are you meeting people here tonight?
No, I think
Then I think, why don't we
let's go back seat.
why don't we stand in lunch?
Oh, yeah.
Can we do that? Would you like- I'd love to.
This is the River Derry, and it meets the River Slaney. This is the famous meeting of the waters of the Macha, the Crow's Foot. And do you see that island?
Yes.
Well, that's the Swan's Island.
Ah.
Oh,
This
yeah, I
is
don't
the
see
meeting
any
of the
swan.
two. This is the meeting of the two.
Yes, there's the River Slaney, and that's the River Derry. And
Wow.
that belongs to the Morrigan.
The Morrigan.
Macha, the Macha.
Yeah.
Crow's Foot.
So this is the confluence.
Yeah, look at them. No, you can see it is.
It's lovely.
That's the River Derry's on the right, and the River Slaney's
Wow.
swirling round.
That's wonderful.
The meeting of the two rivers.
So this river now is what?
And there's swans back in
Slaney
there.
and the
I can see
Slaney
them.
and the Derry. Well, it continues to be the Slaney.
Continues to be the same. It's lovely.
I wish we could
And
get
this
flashes of
water,
white
is this,
swan.
is this, it's very peaty. Is this the peach, the colour?
Toast set. Could be.
Probably, it looks a bit, it's lovely. Oh, I'm so
I
pleased.
love this. I thought we should.
It's
I was
gorgeous.
talking about it. That's it. The River of Healing Dare out of Derry. My brother's nickname is after that.
Mm-hmm.
This is
What does
now
dare
it's the
mean?
Slaney.
What does
Oak,
that mean?
oak.
Oak?
Now that's Mark Leinster. See again.
Yeah.
So you get the whole story.
Which is with the double hill?
No, it's behind the double hills.
Oh, is it?
Slaney. The Slaney's on the left. I mean, the Mount Leinster is on
The one in the
the
far
left. Oh,
Tell me which.
oh, there, it's the one in the middle. You see the
Yeah.
yeah, that one.
The rounded one.
Yeah. There's another mountain behind it. Oh no, the Obersal's priceless, but not that one.
No, I mean the whole place is.
Oh, I see. Yes, it is. Look at it out the beam. I thought you'd like to
I
film
love it. Well, don't you think this has to be backed, doesn't it? Not just,
There's my
just
dear
like-
brother up there. It has to be what?
This has to be backed, doesn't it?
Oh, you'd have to completely redo that whole carpet with backing. You're right.
Oh, it has to be done. Yeah.
It's huge. Was that from the room that
Yeah, you could peek through and see the rest.
I must peek through it.
was Olivia? Is this carpet from the
Oh,
room
so
that you're
someone
redoing?
fitted there. What?
That room that fell apart in the
No,
castle.
no, this carpet belongs here, but that Obersal's attached to it, but it really got to pieces. But it's fearful. It's worth thousands. Somebody said it's a very good castle.
You know what? Maybe this will be the saving of it.
How?
Well, you know, the room had to be, you know, the work has to be done in that room, doesn't it?
Oh, it's got to be. They're all collapsing, the thing.
Yes.
It'll gradually get done.
They've never
Well, this is
faded.
the way they should
This is the
be.
right side.
You
yeah.
see, the colors on this side are extraordinary.
Wouldn't it be nicer if you
Red.
showed it that other way round? I suppose you can't, but I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, this needs a very good black
That's an old bridal chest.
backing, and then it needs to be
I
stitched
hope
onto
they'll
it.
get an expert in. It's fairly valuable. I'm
I
not
bet
sure I
it
would
is.
want to sell it.
It does. That's a good piece of art. That.
Look at being a vegetarian here. Look at all these dead
I know,
creatures.
dead creatures.
Oh, you have lots of them in your house. I noticed all those racks of
Who are
different.
these two figures, do you think? Are they from
And
some?
I've often made stories out.
Basil.
Basil, you're so cute. Look at this beautiful aga and these incredible.
Why don't you have almonds now?
Not in America. They're really a
And there's a
European.
beautiful flat there and wings with people bumping.
Do you know the company in Sweden, I think Sweden or Norwegian, they sold.
What?
Oh, they've sold it off.
Oh, you mean you can't get Argos now?
I'm not sure.
It's historical. No, I'm putting this in a magazine.